The Indian Ocean, vast and deep, holds more than just water. Beneath its waves lies a treasure trove of minerals, including cobalt, a critical element for our clean energy future. Cobalt is a critical mineral used in electric vehicle batteries and other green technologies. As countries worldwide push for cleaner energy, the demand for cobalt is skyrocketing. According to the International Renewable Energy Agency, China currently controls a whopping 70% of the global cobalt market. That's a dominant position, and it has nations like India scrambling to secure their own supply chains. India, which aims to reach net zero emissions by 2070, needs access to this vital resource. This is where things get interesting. In the middle of the Indian Ocean lies a treasure trove, the Afanacy Nikitin Seamount. It's an underwater mountain, rich in cobalt and other valuable minerals. Naturally, India saw an opportunity. In January 2024, India submitted an application to the Jamaica-based International Seabed Authority. The International Seabed Authority regulates economic activity on the seabed in areas beyond national jurisdictions. India's proposal? To explore the Afanacy Nikitin Seamount for its cobalt riches. India's application seemed like a straightforward move, but there was a catch. The International Seabed Authority, upon evaluating India's petition, discovered a major hurdle. While the exact country wasn't named, experts believe Sri Lanka has a conflicting claim to the area where the Afanacy Nikitin Seamount lies. The story takes another turn. Interestingly, in 2010, India didn't object to Sri Lanka's initial claim. But, in 2022, India switched gears and contested Sri Lanka's claim, arguing it would harm Indian interests. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room, China. Analysts believe India's sudden interest in the Afanacy Nikitin Seamount isn't just about securing cobalt. It's also about keeping China at bay. China's growing presence in the Indian Ocean region has India on edge. Chinese research vessels have been spotted surveying the Indian Ocean region, and India fears this data could be used for military purposes, like submarine navigation. The race for the Afanacy Nikitin Seamount is about more than just cobalt. It's a symbolic battleground for regional influence. India wants to secure its access to critical resources and limit China's dominance in the Indian Ocean region. Sri Lanka, caught in the middle, is facing pressure from both sides. India, a larger neighbor, and China, a major investor. The outcome of Sri Lanka's continental shelf claim and India's application to the International Seabed Authority will have a ripple effect on the entire region. So, what happens next? India's application with the International Seabed Authority is currently on hold. Sri Lanka's continental shelf claim is still pending with the Commission on the Limits of the Continental Shelf. Both these decisions will determine the fate of the Afanacy Nikitin Seamount. There are several possibilities. India and Sri Lanka could potentially reach a negotiated settlement. International diplomacy could play a role in finding a solution that benefits all parties. The race for the Afanacy Nikitin Seamount is a microcosm of a larger trend, the global competition for resources in the deep sea. As the demand for clean energy technologies surges, the pressure on these underwater resources will only intensify. Deep-sea mining is a relatively new frontier, and the environmental consequences are still not fully understood. The extraction process can disrupt fragile ecosystems and potentially endanger marine life. Sustainable practices and robust regulations are crucial to ensure responsible exploration and minimal environmental impact. The International Seabed Authority has a critical role to play in mediating these disputes and establishing a framework for responsible deep-sea mining. The International Seabed Authority needs to be adequately resourced and empowered to ensure transparency and accountability in the exploration process. Deep-sea mining is technologically complex and expensive. Advancements in robotics and underwater exploration techniques are essential to make this process more efficient and less environmentally damaging. International collaboration will be crucial to navigating the complexities of deep-sea resource exploration. Sharing knowledge, technology, and best practices can help ensure a sustainable and equitable future for this emerging industry. So, what does the future hold for the Afanacy Nikitin Seamount? Here are a few potential scenarios. India and Sri Lanka reach an agreement. India and Sri Lanka could potentially reach a power sharing agreement, allowing both nations to benefit from the resources in the disputed area. This would require careful negotiation and compromise. The International Seabed Authority makes a decision. The International Seabed Authority could ultimately decide on the ownership of the Afanasi-Niketan seamount, based on Sri Lanka's continental shelf claim and India's exploration application. This decision could be appealed to a higher body, potentially leading to a protracted legal battle. A global regulatory framework emerges. The international community could come together to develop a comprehensive regulatory framework for deep-sea mining. This framework would address environmental concerns, establish clear ownership rights, and promote responsible exploration practices. The race for the Afanasi-Niketan seamount is a fascinating story with far-reaching implications. It highlights the growing importance of critical minerals, the complexities of resource ownership in international waters, and the need for responsible environmental stewardship. As we move towards a clean energy future, it's crucial to develop sustainable and responsible deep-sea mining practices. International collaboration, technological advancements, and robust regulations are key to ensuring that our quest for resources doesn't come at the cost of our planet's health. This is just the beginning of the story. We'll be keeping a close eye on developments surrounding the Afanasi-Niketan seamount and the future of deep-sea resource exploration. Stay tuned for further updates.